Good Wednesday evening, my friends. We are here. We are ready to dip our nails. And let me tell you, this look... Well, you know what? Let me tell you why I'm a few minutes late today. The reason I'm a few minutes late today is because I just had a terrible ombre experience. And because I like to be real with you guys, the triple ombre scrub method... Oh no, that wanted to give me a whole run for my money. So let me tell you, because usually this is how my Wednesdays go. All right. I get to the office, I get ready, and I plan out what manicure we're going to do tonight. And I've had this like triple color thing in my head for a while. I'm pretty certain I got the color inspiration from Pinterest. And so I wanted to do it, and I was like, you know what, we're going to scrub technique this. But I wanted to see if the colors I picked out look good. So I did a swatch. They looked fabulous, okay? They scrub method so good, and I was like, all right, this manicure is going to be so easy breezy. Let's add some nail art on top of it. You know, we went easy last week. We did a one color mani. This week I was like, you know, let's go hard. Scrub method on the triple ombre was not it. 2 hours. I've been at it 2 hours, and I just finished this hand a few minutes ago. The palm tree, fabulous. But we had to rework how we were doing the ombre. So I'm actually going to be doing the ombre with gel polish tonight instead of dip powder. Because quite frankly, I was so frustrated at the dip powder that I was like, I got to reroute. I have to mentally reroute the situation. So yeah, we're going to be doing gel ombre tonight. So without further ado, this is the look that we are doing this evening. Hello, my friends who are joining. Hello, Christy, Heather, it is so good to see you. Christy, thank you for hitting that share button. Casey, great afternoon to you. Kay is here. Jana, hello, friends. See, that's the thing, is I get so flustered sometimes with these manicures, but I know that I'm about to jump on with all of my nail friends, and it makes me happier. I figured you guys would understand. So, Heather, no. Nope, this was with gel. So this ombre, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not thrilled with the blend there, but this one definitely went a little bit better. I've done an ombre with gel before, and yeah, I think it, you know, when you get in that mindset where things are not going right, and then it's just like you're frustrated, so then it's just like you're rushing, it's a whole thing. That's kind of how this manicure went. But overall, like, I don't think it's the worst. I'm pretty happy with it given the circumstances and the absolute manicure hell I just went through. But yeah, I filed off like 2 or 3 different ombre attempts today. So it's been a time. Hello, Brooke. Thank you. Casey, thank you. 2 Caseys tonight. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. And I've seen this like bluey purple ombre for a while. So anyways, I am fairly happy with the outcome. Like I said, I wish I didn't rush through this ombre because it's looking a little ooh, but for the most part, like, the palm tree turned out cute, I think. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing tonight, friends. And we're going to take our time now that I'm here. So I'm so grateful to be with you, let me tell you. It's actually not elderberry. It is Proud by Rebel Nail. So before we jump into it, let me walk you through which products we're going to be using tonight, because it's a few. It's quite a few. So basically the base here is Proud by Rebel Nail. So we're going to be dipping that as the base. And then the base color, this teal color, is actually Namaste by Rebel Nail as well. So to start this manicure off, I'm going to be doing just a normal dip with Proud and then Namaste on the 2 middle fingers. And then we're going to be using gel. So I'm actually using my gel liners from Beetles to create this look. So I didn't have quite the right purple, so I actually mixed my own little concoction this evening to add to the chaos that was this manicure. But yes, we're going to be using these gel liners. For liquids tonight, we are using the Kiara Sky Dip liquids again. I absolutely love these. I will happily recommend them, but I will caution that the price point on these is a little crazy. But they're good quality. So if you're willing to spend the money on them, they are fantastic. Highly recommend. If you want something that's on the more affordable end, I definitely recommend the Manicure Dippy set on Amazon. I think those are great liquids, especially for the price point. Virgo and Gem, West Coast Dips, also kind of middle ground price points, which are good to check out as well. But tonight we're dipping into Kiara Sky. And then for my top coat, we're going to be doing the Young Nails Stain Resistant Top Coat only on the 2 gel fingers. So it's a lot, friends. We got a lot going on. So Chrissy, you know what? Elderberry is very, very close. I was actually debating between Elderberry and Proud, to be quite honest with you. And then the reason that I went with Proud is just because of the color of the blue I was going to initially use. Proud had a little bit more of like a better blend, but depending on the blue and the teal color that you match it with, Elderberry is totally a great option for this look. Totally, totally. All right, friends, let's get into it because I'm excited to do my other hand. It's always refreshing. That's why I always recommend, if you are struggling with working with your non-dominant hand, start with that one and get your frustrations just like out of the bag right away. And then you're like, it's downhill from here, because now we are doing our working with our dominant hand. It's going to be great. So that's what we're doing now. So let's get into it. The first part is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to dip using our usual apex building method. For those of you who are just joining and haven't been here before, I do like to do the TikTok application method. So we're going to do a full dip, then a half dip, then a 3/4 dip, and then another full dip. And the reason that we do this is to build an apex on the nail. By doing so, you're going to add strength to your nail, and it's going to help your manicure last longer. So if anyone jumps in the comments when I'm not paying attention and they're like, hey, why are you doing a half a dip? Because it happens 100% of the time. It would help me out a ton if you could let them know. And while we're on that subject too, don't be afraid to double tap the screen while we're doing this, and don't be shy and hit that share button. I so appreciate it. It helps get this video out there, and your support is, again, very, very appreciated and loved by me. So thank you guys in advance in case I miss. I try to send thank yous as people are doing it, but sometimes I miss it because we got to focus on the nails too. So hello, Lisa. You're looking to use nail glue. I would not do that. I think that would be messy, and I'm not certain that it would cure up properly. So I would steer clear of using something not how it's meant, if that makes sense. All right, friends, let's start dipping. So we're going to dip in with the Kiara Sky Base Liquid, and then, like I said, we're doing Proud by Rebel Nail for our purple and Namaste by Rebel Nail for our 2 middle fingers as the base, and then we'll get into the gel nail art at the end. So to dip into this, also, we're back to doing natural nails now. They're a little short still, but I'm kind of overdoing tips right now. I go through phases, so right now is a no tip phase. Full natural. All right, so to get things started, we're going to start our brush in the middle of the nail, and then we are going to push all the way back to that cuticle area and then pull forward. You want to get as close to the skin as possible without touching, and then we're going to swoop those sides like so. And then we're going to go ahead and dip into our powder, knock off the excess, grab our trusty toothpick, and we're just going to trace that cuticle line, and that's going to help give us some very nice, clean cuticle lines. You're welcome, Lisa. I hope that helps. Now, the reason that we apply the liquid like this, for anyone wondering, starting in the middle of the nail, pushing back, this gives you a lot greater control over the liquid. It's going to avoid flooding that cuticle area, which in turn is going to help you get much nicer cuticle lines, and it's also going to help you keep product from getting on the skin. So that is why we employ the pushback method here. And then for anything you might miss, just use your toothpick just to clean up those lines. Now I'm going to dip into Namaste for these next 2. So just switching colors here, but using the same technique, starting that brush in the middle of the nail, pushing forward, pulling back, and swooping the sides. Now, one thing, if you're finding that you're struggling with your liquids in application, swatching. Swatching helps a ton with learning how to maneuver the brush, especially if you're a beginner, you don't maybe have a ton of experience painting your nails. I found swatching to be really good practice. So I highly recommend, if you have not swatched already, to do so. If not, to keep track of all of your dip powder colors that you will be getting. but also just to practice your liquid application. Gabby, yeah, the base coat does matter in the sense that some are better than others. So some base liquids tend to apply on the thicker side. Some apply too thin. And then that can cause issues with application, especially if you're learning and you're not super experienced with kind of how to maneuver certain liquids yet. So certain base coats will matter. I actually have an entire playlist here on TikTok that reviews different dip liquids. Kind of just going over the application of them, how beginner friendly I find them. So if you're not really sure kind of where to start, highly recommend checking that out. Like I said, you can pop over to my TikTok profile and it is an entire playlist of reviews. So Mary, you're back. I'm so glad to see you again. I'm doing great. How are you doing this week? I think you said you had... No, maybe it was somebody else. Somebody else told me that I hadn't seen them in a while because of their kids' baseball season. And forgive me, but my memory sometimes gets kind of blurred. Everything gets mashed together. So I apologize if I'm not remembering correctly. All right, so now that we've dipped all of our layers, we're gonna go ahead and brush off all that extra powder. This is a very, very important step to ensure that you get a nice clean application, but also to make sure you don't contaminate your base liquids. So perfect. Okay, so we're on to dip number 2. For this layer, we are going to do half the nail. Like I said earlier, the reason we're doing this is to build up that apex, add strength to the nail, and help our manicure last. So, ooh, Brooke, we're like twinning. Grace, if she's getting lumpiness, number 1, you can buff just about anything out. So don't give up. Might take you a little bit, but you can absolutely buff out any kind of lump. So she might need to do some more buffing. The other thing too is just getting a good set of liquids. Liquids that are good quality are going to be easier to apply and they're going to leave you less prone to clumping and lumping and everything else. The other thing is to, you can actually do the pour over method as well. So instead of dipping like I'm doing here, you could actually pour the liquid over top, and that can also help mitigate issues with lumping as well. So any of those things should help her, but overall it's gonna be like a practice thing. Just tell her to stick with it. A couple manicures in, she'll get the hang of it for sure. Hello, Phelan, it's so good to see you. I love seeing familiar faces. You're welcome, Grace. I hope that helps. All right, so guys, on the second dip, we're doing the same technique, except we're doing half the nail. So we're starting that brush just below the halfway point as I just did. And then we're just gonna paint the bottom half. And I also like to cap the edges on this dip as well. The reason I do that is just to help avoid issues with chipping later down the road. Again, trying to make these nails last as long as possible. All right, so switching over to Namaste, doing the exact same thing here. Oh, thank you, Valen. Yeah, my nails have grown in enough where I feel like I just want to stick with the naturals. I am so lazy. So the least amount of steps I can do when doing my nails is ideal. So if I don't have to put on tips, I do not like to. I also find generally in the summertime too, when I'm doing a lot of projects on the house, gardening and whatnot, it is a little easier to keep your nails shorter. So, but I appreciate the feedback. That means a lot because I was kind of like, oh, my nails too short right now because I've had them a little longer rocking the tips. So Chelsea, you are not wrong. These are very much in the Barney colors. I did not even realize. That's so funny. It was my brother's favorite show growing up. I wasn't a huge Barney fan, but I definitely watched a few episodes because of him. Oh, Bianca, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. That makes my whole day. So I'm so glad to hear that they are helpful. Definitely the goal. So that's awesome. Jacqueline, no, I don't find them to be overly powerful. Definitely not like Rebels. Mary, you can absolutely use the do the water ones over top of dip powder. I've done it before with no issues. Just make sure after you apply them to encapsulate them in a clear dip powder. So basically what you would do is apply your base color, activate, buff your nails really smooth, apply the water. I always say decal, I'm Canadian. Apply the sticker on, and then go ahead and encapsulate and clear, and that'll help it stay. Courtney, you absolutely can. We are doing some ombre. My middle finger got a little crazy. It's a whole thing. Some ombre palm tree nails. So like sunset nails is what we're after today. Okay, so we've done all of our second dip. So we're actually going on to dip number 3. So for dip number 3, we're going to be dipping up to the 3/4 mark. Again, continuing to build that apex. So we're going to start the brush this time again in that halfway point, but push only up to the 3/4 mark on your nail and pull forward. And then we're going to paint the bottom 3/4 of the nail. Now on this layer again, I do like to cap the edges because I find doing this has really helped me to prevent my manicures from chipping. So when something works, I stick to it. I'm not one to stray from my techniques as soon as I'm like attached to them. Courtney, thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. Ooh, Mary, yeah. I'd say like getting nail stickers or the water decals, either one is such an easy way to get like really cute nail designs. I love using them. And they're super no fuss as well. So definitely a great way to start incorporating some nail art into your manicures. And Amazon has so many fun ones for like basically every occasion. I highly recommend ordering some for fall and ordering some for Christmas. Because those are some really cute fall and Christmassy ones you can do with your nails. Maddie, thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. I am using the Kara Sky base liquid tonight. And then for powders, so this teal color is Namaste by Rebel Nail, and then the purple is Proud by Rebel Nail. And then we are going to be jumping into the gels. Thank you, Christy, for jumping in there. I appreciate it. I don't always see comments, so it helps me a ton, so thank you. Just trying to rock through all these layers so that we can get to the fun part. No, you wouldn't want to do one coat of dip because what happens is if your dip layers are too thin, your dip will crack. So it's not going to last as long, and then you're going to be very disappointed. You also probably won't get the right coverage as well with the colors. So you definitely want to do a few layers of dip. So technically I'm doing 4, but not all of mine are full dips. So yeah. All right, friends, so now we are on our 4th and final layer of dip. So for this 4th layer, we're gonna go back to doing the entire nail again. So again, starting that brush in the middle of the nail, pushing back to that cuticle area as close to the skin as possible without touching, pulling forward, and then we're gonna swoop those sides. My fingers are very purple. Proud is, it's a color, you know, it's here to stay. It's here to just make sure everybody knows it's here, you know? Purple fingers everywhere. All right. And then switching over to Namaste. Oh, Nettie, I'm so glad that you like them. I'm a big fan. If I have to use tips, half coverage is my fave, so I'm really glad that they're working for you. Ah, thank you, Kay. Yes. Kay is correct. Virgo and Gem and West Coast dips are my favorites. Though, to be honest, Kiara Sky is definitely topping my list. Or sorry, going to be on that favorites list as well. My only issue with Kiara Sky is the price point because it is a little bit more expensive. So that's why I'm not keen to recommend it because I don't think you have to spend this much. But if you're okay with it, they are fantastic liquids as well. No, I don't find it ruins my natural nail. I'm very careful with my nail prep and very careful with my removal, so I don't do anything crazy. That way I protect the nails. But the dip itself, no, doesn't cause any damage. But if you're removing incorrectly or you are over buffing your natural nail during prep or anything like that, you'll definitely notice damage. But the nail enhancement itself won't do anything. Absolutely, Chelsea. And also, I have had contact with Virgo and Gem and West Coast dips. I don't necessarily get anything monetarily, so this is just totally brands I've picked up on my very own. And the owners of those companies are also fantastic, which makes me very keen to support them as well. So definitely, if you want to support small business, those are great options. All right, this is it, friends. We're full Barney now, okay? But we got to switch the script. We got to get over to the sunrise and the palm trees and get the summer vibes going. So we're going to brush off all that extra powder. And then we're going to activate and buff. Well, Cassie, you should absolutely do it, but I feel like you could have guessed I was going to tell you that. Yes, I absolutely do have videos on nail prep and removal. Actually, if you go over to my TikTok profile, you'll see 3 pin videos. The first one, I'm almost positive I have them in the correct order, but either way, one pin video is my nail prep process, the other one is application, and then the third one is removal. So you'll see all of those at the top of my TikTok page. Girl, Courtney, we are doing it with polish tonight. I don't want to retell the entire story, but basically I had a bad time with a triple scrub ombre today. So yes, we are doing it with gel. It was a whole thing. I'm glad you're excited. Let that cure. Oh, Courtney, it's not your fault. I feel bad for people that were here, but yeah, basically it was I was trying to triple scrub and it wasn't it for me today. You know, I had to just accept that that was not in the cards for Kayla, and so gel polish it is. Michaela, I redo my sets completely. I don't generally do fills. I actually redo my nails every week on this live manicure, so I switch mine out every week. But if I wasn't doing this, then usually I would leave them about 2 weeks or so, I find, before I'm like, I don't like the grow out, you know? Okay. We are, I think, just about cured up. So we are going to buff everything out, and then we're going to bust the gel polish out, and we're going to start ombreing, and then we're going to palm tree it up. I'm going to start with these two nails to make sure that I do not contaminate them with that purple powder. So I'm just cleaning up the edges. I do a lot of my shaping basically before I dip, so there's not much to do other than just cleaning up the edges at this point. And then I buff everything out to make sure that it is nice and smooth. So basically with my buffing process, I always use a curved file, and then I go around the cuticle area. Now the reason I love the curved file is because I find it does a much better job of blending everything into the natural nail without tearing up your skin, which is much appreciated. And then once I get that part done, then I'm just gonna go down the sides, just going in one direction, just to actually like shape the nail properly. And then I do the same thing in the other direction. And then it's just kind of a free-for-all going everywhere. What do I use for prep? So I actually use a mixture that I make at home of rubbing alcohol and acetone. So if you go to my, I believe it's my dip application playlist, I do have a video that shows you how I do this. But I just use that to cleanse the nail and get rid of all the oils and everything. Sorry guys, my face is gone. I'll be back in one momento. Sonia, thank you for hitting that share button. I appreciate it. Coley, I am using the Karis Sky Dip Liquids this evening. I think we're just about good. I like to just do a quick up close because I'm blind. I also find too it's easier when you're buffing if you hold your nail kind of like in front of you and then like this. That gives you two angles just to make sure that your nails are shaped evenly. At least it helps me. All right, let's move on. Linz, thank you for hitting that follow button. I so appreciate it. Michaela, I hope that helps. I have not tried Tickle Pink yet. It is on my list of things. I just have not gotten around to ordering anything new as of late. I know, Jana, it is, but like I've had to be so reserved this summer because my husband and I have been doing so many house projects, and I'm like, ooh, okay. So come fall when that slows down, I'll definitely probably be back onto my dip nail train. But yeah, showing any kind of self-restraint is not easy. Shyla, thank you for hitting that share button. I appreciate it. I do not have Paradise, Madeline. Do I dip for pedicures? No, I have not dipped my toes ever. I feel like that's not... I don't know. I feel like it just seems like a lot of work, you know? Especially when polish lasts so long on your toes. I just feel like the removal process and everything would be such a pain in the butt. So I just use regular gel polish on my toenails, actually. All right, we're getting there, friends. And then once we finish this, we'll get into that gel nail art. Okay, I'm just gonna do my up close here quick, friends. Because I am blind. And also, again, I say this every week, but truthfully, these lights do not make this easier. Okay. We're just about good. Okay. All right, my friends. I think I'm ready for my last final buff. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so just to give everything one last final polish, I'm going to go over and use my trusty little orange buffer blocks that I love so much. Oh, Allie is here. Hello, friends. This is what we're doing tonight. We're doing a little sunrise palm tree action, but we're doing ombre with gel. Ignore that middle finger there. It got crazy, okay? It was a whole thing, but we're gonna do better. I am pretty happy with the palm tree, though. I feel like it actually went... I think I basically did it in one try, which was pretty good, given my state of mind today. Thank you, Allie. Danny, thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. Madeline, so number one, just prep is the biggest thing. Making sure that you don't get product on your skin, making sure that you are adding cuticle oil and moisturizing every day. As far as not picking goes, I was a lifelong nail biter. So biting my nails was always my thing. Not so much picking at them. I never really had that habit, but I do find that having dip on the nails stops me from biting them or chewing them. So that's definitely helped. It also is pretty hard to, you got to go at it to pick it off if you've applied it well and it's not lifting. So I feel like it could help in that regard as well. And also, you don't want to pick it off because it'd be so bad for your natural nails. Okay, I think we are good, my friends. So what I am going to do from here is actually finish my purple fingers, because my purple fingers are just getting normal dip base and calling it a day. And then we are going to gel polish the other ones with the gel top coat. So let me go through the top coat process. I need a lint-free wipe. One moment. Perfecto. Okay, we are back. So we are going to apply our activator and then our top coat. Texas Gal, I do have peel base, but I do not use it very often. Madeline for prep, I usually remove the cuticles with Blue Cross Cuticle Remover and then wash my nails really well. Then I buff them very, very lightly. And then I use an alcohol and acetone cleanser to clean all the moisture and oils from the nail. Or sorry, remove the moisture, clean the oils. I do have a video on how I do that pinned to my TikTok account. All right, so let's apply this activator. And then we'll top coat our purple nails and we'll get into our fun ombre palm tree situation. Sorry, Michaela, I don't know what you mean by Demonte or what that is. All right, so after I've applied that activator, we're gonna grab our top coat. So to avoid contaminating our top coat and to make sure that we get a nice finish without it clouding, we are going to start by applying the top coat in 3 very, very quick strokes. So we want to limit the contact time that the brush has with the nail. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm skipping those middle fingers because we're going to be doing a whole gel thing there. And then once I've done that, we're going to go in with our top coat right away and we're going to apply a nicer finish all over the nail. Now this is so important to avoid chips. Make sure you run that brush very lightly over your free edge and cap those edges. Oh, little diamonds. Autocorrect must have gotten you, Michaela. If you were going to do diamonds, I have not done that, but my guess would be you would apply them with a particular nail glue, because I believe there's a separate glue to apply those, like any kind of gemstones to the nail, and I think you would do it after you've applied your dip top coat. That would be my guess, but definitely check on that because I have not done it and I don't want to steer you wrong. So what's the best way to apply glitter? If you're doing chunky glitter, lay your nail flat in the dip powder. So don't like stick it in, lay it flat and then push it down. That's going to help it lay flat. I do have a chunky glitter tutorial on my TikTok profile. I think it's on the dip application playlist, and if it's not there, it's on the nail art playlist, but I'm almost positive it's on the dip application playlist. But I do have a full step-by-step tutorial that walks through chunky glitter that would probably help give you a visual on that. Yeah, well, it's a I feel you on that, Courtney. Scrub, and scrubbing with a nail brush and like dish soap helps, I find, get a lot of it off. Tamara, yeah, so exactly what Kay is saying here. The reason that we run it over the free edge like that is to cap the edges and to stop chipping. All right, so our purple fingers are done. Is gel time. So I've got my colors here. And then I've got my brushes. So I had to like basically mix colors together. So I mixed these 2 Beetles gel liner colors together to create the purple that I have, to try to get it as close to Proud as possible. And then I'm also using just this blue by itself, and then I've got black for the palm trees. So the first thing we're gonna do is the ombre, and then we'll get into the palm tree nail art. You are very welcome, Michaela. I am happy to help. That is why we do these Wednesday night nail parties. Partly to answer questions and partly to just find people like us who enjoy DIY nails at home. So no problem. All right, so I've got my lamp here. So we're gonna be using this. So let's get this going here. So I think it's easier when I do it this way. Let me just put my fingers on top. like so, and then you guys can see, and then I can see. So like I said, the first thing we're gonna do is apply that blue. So I'm gonna dip a little in the blue. Can you guys still see? Kind of. Okay. So I'm just gonna run the brush kind of lightly in there. And starting at the bottom, I'm just gonna kind of lightly work my way up. Not being super precise necessarily, just kind of whatever with it. And then once I've done that, I'm actually going to grab a brush that is dry. And then just to kind of blend this a little bit better, because clearly I did a bad job on this finger because I was rushing. So I'm just going to kind of like tap the edge just to kind of blend it and make it a little more of an ombre so it's not so harsh. And then same thing over here. Right? Just a little more ombre this time. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go in for a full 60-second cure. You can definitely give ombre a try, Michaela. Now, this is how to do it with gel. You can do ombres with dip powder as well, using one of two methods, either the tap method, which is like tapping it on a brush, or using the scrub method. Both those methods work. Generally, that's how I do it, but because this is a 3-color, it was a time for me today. It was really pressing all of my buttons. So you can also do it with gel as well, but depending on what you have access to. Which set of liners? I believe, so this one is from that big main kit of liners that I have. And then this one is, I believe it was like a space something theme that this one came from. But this kit, I have it shared in my nail art idea list. This kit is fabulous. It comes with like basically every color you could need. So highly recommend this one. Yay, frankly, I'm so glad to hear that. All right, friends, so you can see that we've got our darker blue there now. So now we're gonna go in with the purple. Now, again, I kind of like mixed this color myself because that purple wasn't quite right. So same thing, I'm just gonna kind of start from the bottom and then kind of paint my way up just a little bit. I am very, very light with the brush right now, by the way. I'm trying not to put on too much pressure, and then I'm going to cap the edges so that they are the same color. And then same thing here. Capping the edges again. And then I'm going to grab that dry brush again, and then same thing. I'm just going to kind of like tap the edge. Just to help it blend a little bit better so that line's not as harsh as it is right now. Right? And then in for a full cure. Now we're gonna do that one more time, just the very edge, and then we're gonna go in and do the palm tree nail art. No, I clean these ones with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and that's about it. Nothing fancy. Do 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 do. Aw, Thank you for coming in, Jane. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yeah. That's so funny, Frankie. We are like full-on nail twins then. I mean, I feel like the palm trees are kind of forgiving because they have like the little hairy outlines, and it's like if it looks kind of messy, they're supposed to be that way. You know, it's a tree branch. When have you ever seen a clean tree, you know? All right, so now that we've got those ends done, I want to add a little bit more purple. Just to the very tip, just to darken and make it a little more obvious that it's purple. So I'm just going to tap just the very edge. And sorry guys, I just have to like move down here because the lighting on there is weird. I'm hoping you can still see. I'm running out of my purple paint. All right, and then I'm just gonna grab, because it still looks like it's kind of a little not as blended as I would like. You guys can still see, hopefully. All right, and then we're gonna pop her in for a full cure, and now it is palm tree time. Spider palm tree, you know, they're pretty close. That's funny. Oh, Michaela, that's perfect. That's awesome you're from South Africa. We're like totally opposite. I'm in Canada. We're in full summer right now. Brooke, thank you for hitting that like button. I so appreciate it. All right, so we're just waiting for that ombre to fully cure, and then once it does, it's palm tree time. Waiting for the lamp is like such a thing. Frankie, I'm going to go check it out right after this. I'm excited to see it. I'm sure it's not that bad. We're always our own worst critic, you know? All right, so we got those ombres done. So now it is palm tree time. So I'm actually just using a fine nail art brush. And then let me just double, I always forget, I have to like, oh, okay. So what we're going to do, so I've got my black gel liner, which is this one here that we're using. And then we're gonna run our brush like this just to get a good amount on the nail. And then starting in this corner, I'm making sure you guys can see, and I gotta get kind of close and get the hair out of the way. Whew, okay. I shouldn't wear my hair down on nail art day. This is bad. All right, so we're gonna start in the bottom corner and kind of just drag it up like so. I'm gonna get some extra. I'm gonna get some more gel. I think we're almost out there. Frankie, we are all going to check how awesome your palm tree is after this. I'm excited. I'm sure it looks fine. No pressure, no pressure. Okay. So now that we've got the trunk, so now we're going to just start doing the branches. So I start with just 2 down. Kind of 1 across. And you want to space these out just a little bit because we're going to add like basically fuzz to them. So I'm just drawing the branches first, and then we'll add that little bit of, I say fuzz, I just mean like their little leaves. Right, so we've done that, and then I'm not going to add anything else to my brush. All I'm going to do is just kind of go down each line and kind of just draw it out, basically. It's just like kind of lightly tapping and smudging that line out so it looks like the little leaves that are on a palm tree. I'm going to add a little bit more, actually, because I'm kind of dry here. And then after the fact, I just like to add a little bit more black to the middle there just to darken this up a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm in concentration mode. I'm thinking that's pretty good though. Right? There we go. I think, yeah, no, that's what I did before. All right, and then we're gonna pop her in for a cure, and then it's time to top coat. We've done it. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Allie. Oh my gosh, Sarah is here just in time. Thank you. Trying to make my Picasso proud. Ah, Chelsea, it does. This does make me feel like I'm in Florida. All right. Frankie, I mean, obviously I'm kind of at a disadvantage. I can't pull it up right now, but it seems to me that the consensus is your palm trees look fantastic. So you guys are awesome. I love this. Oh no, Marissa. The nice thing with gel nail art is you can always like do it, don't cure it. You can wipe it with rubbing alcohol if it's not going exactly how you want and give it another go. Because sometimes I find it just takes me a minute to be like, oh, I should have ran the brush this way or whatever. But yeah, quick swipe of rubbing alcohol and you're good for round 2. Chelsea, yeah. I was actually just on the phone with my family from the States. They live in Florida as well, and they were telling me how humid it is. I'm like, you guys, I mean, it gets humid here, don't get me wrong, but our humidity is nothing like yours. I spent an entire month of August one time in West Palm Beach, and I've never experienced humidity like that in my life. I was like, holy moly. You walk out, you're just like wet, you know? So you Floridians, you guys are champions. That heat is crazy. All right, we're just waiting for our nail art to cure, and then once that's done, we're going to top coat, and then we are finished our triple ombre palm tree nail art evening. All right, we should be good. Okay, so let's get this to the side. So I am using Young Nails stain resistant top coat. So I'm just going to top coat those two gel nail art fingers and give them a nice finish. And then same thing, we're just going to start that brush middle of the nail, push back, pull forward. And we also want to make sure that we cap the edges here to avoid any issues with chipping. And that's it. All right, let's go in for our last and final cure, and we are done. Oh my gosh, yeah, I imagine Arkansas gets very, very humid as well, Sarah. Courtney, I'm trying, but if you would have seen the actual, I mean, I don't have any footage, I didn't film it, but if you would have seen me earlier today doing this hand, it was a whole thing. It was, oh, yeah, it was very trying. So, yes, Frankie, I highly recommend this particular one because it comes with a bunch of different colors, and I haven't needed anything else because this one comes with all that I need. I do have it shared over on my nail art link if you wanted to check that out, but it's just like one of the Beatles kits, and it comes with, how many colors? I think there's like 20 colors in there. But yeah, it's fantastic. So highly recommend for nail art. I go to it all the time. Yeah, but Sarah, the reason I like it look simple is because I have like gotten so frustrated doing this hand. So by the time I'm like on this side, I'm like, yeah, whatever. All right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. All right, my friends, we're done. We did it. We've done our triple ombre palm tree nails. I'm into this. Hopefully you guys can see. Perfect, Frankie. Yeah, I think you'll like them. Courtney, we all have to start somewhere. Like hearts and daisies. Also, those are vital for spring nails, you know. Ooh, well, that's good, Sarah. It's all progress. You are Picasso after all, so. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Hello, Jules. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Yeah, we are back to rocking natural nails, hence the shape change. I'm going to go back, I think, to the rounded. I'm just waiting for my natural nails to grow just a little bit more so I can do that. But yeah, I'm just like, not having to do tips. It's just like a whole extra step that I just would rather not do, you know, because I'm lazy, quite frankly. So ain't nothing wrong with polka dots, Michaela, you know, whatever works. Polka dots are cute too. That's all right, Sarah. I mean, you know. Thank you, Marissa. I appreciate that. Have a great evening as well. Thanks, Jules. Yeah, you know what, again, I was saying this earlier, but for summer with doing gardening and housing projects and stuff, having short nails is definitely kind of nice. So, you know, we'll hold off. We'll do our long ones maybe come fall when things slow down that way. Ooh, that is a good deal, Sarah. I hope few people scoop that up for sure. All right, my friends. Thank you, Mikhail. Thank you for joining and asking questions and whatever. It was great to chat with you. So yeah, we will be here next Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are not already, highly encourage you to sign up for the email list because I send out alerts when I'm going live. I also send out alerts in case for some reason the schedule has to change, which in the summertime has been frequent. So if you want to get alerted every time we're going live, go over to my TikTok profile, click the link, scroll down, you can see where you can put your email address, and I'll send out those alerts. I'll also send out alerts when the replay is posted as well. So definitely check that out before you go. Other than that, friends, ooh, Sarah, that's a nice shape. I love coffin shape. Good night, Jules. All right, good night, Frankie. Frankie, I am immediately going to check out your palm trees after this. I'm excited, and I love that everybody was like excited about it. Makes me, I want to check them out. All right, thank you, Sarah, my Picasso. I hope you have a great evening. All right, my friends, so I hope everybody has a great rest of their night. I hope you have an excellent rest of your week. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see everybody next Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. EST for our next manicure. What we're doing, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out exactly a week from now, except like 3 hours earlier, because I usually figure out my nails like Wednesday afternoon, you know? So it's going to be a surprise. But I can't wait. So thank you guys again for jumping in, asking questions, for answering questions, and helping each other out. It is so appreciated. So thank you guys very much, and I hope everybody has a great and safe evening, and I will see and chat with you very soon.